Well, someone said, hey Joe, I look forward to the one when you get into your Tesla and do some videos from the inside. The way the windshield is, boy, it's at a slant, and that is the maximum tilt I could do. It's kind of like snugged up in the little piece by the windshield. And I had a little supercharging issue, which I brought to the Tesla service station yesterday. They fixed it, but the car wasn't supercharging. And she's definitely supercharging now. That's for sure. So why not do a couple videos, right? While I sit here and wait and test this old girl out charging. And I found out this car, being a 2015, it qualified back then to get the free lifetime supercharging, which means I could literally drive this car across the planet or the country for free as far as gas goes. Hotels, yeah. Driving, completely free. Supercharge station, supercharge station, supercharge station, all the way. Which is pretty awesome when you think about it. Like, I could literally take this car home, drive it for a few days back and forth to work. Oh, battery's down to 25%. Go to the supercharging station I'm at right now. Sit here for 30 or 40 minutes, depending on how low it is, and then leave. Back to charged up, and I can do this again for 3 or 4 days or whatever. Maybe longer than that, to tell you the truth. Anyways, you remember Jon Corzine? MF Global. Gerald Celente was using the firm that somehow used MF Global for his gold positions, his futures. And Jon Corzine took their clients' funds and invested it into like European bonds or something. The bond market blew up, crashed. Jon Corzine took a massive beating, and all their customers took the beating because they lost their money. This was supposed to be touted as segregated accounts. We can never touch your money. It's safe. Only you have access to it. Turns out that wasn't true after all. That Jon Corzine. The same Jon Corzine who was governor of New Jersey, Democrat of course, and seen buddying up with Barack Obama, campaign contributions, pictures with him and Obama. Yeah, good old boy network, you know. Well, Jon Corzine accepts regulatory ban as part of his $600 million Wall Street comeback. Now, you would think after doing something like that, what he did in MF Global as the CEO, never did a day of jail time. Nope, no problem. That you would never, ever be allowed to start another company that has anything to do with taking people's money in, investments, anything. Wall Street, none of it. Nope. That is not the case, friends. That is not the case. The Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, is making sure that the next time Jon Corzine takes to Wall Street, he will be restricted from wagering his own capital separately from his investors' money, according to Bloomberg. This was the type of trading that sunk his prior firm, MF Global Holdings Limited, just 8 years ago. Despite this, many are going to be asking an obvious question. Why is he allowed to return to Wall Street to begin with? Corzine was banned from the futures industry when his firm MF Global went bankrupt, and despite his new fund, JDC-JSC, not generating much buzz, it still launched early last year in New York. Corzine was, of course, a U.S. Senator and Governor of New Jersey, and has pitched his new fund as a way to leverage his experience on Wall Street. Oh, he's got some experience, doesn't he? On Wall Street, to anticipate how Donald Trump's policies would affect markets. In other words, he'll probably just be buying S&P futures and SPY ETFs. He set out with the goal of raising $100 million to $300 million during his first year of trading, but the fund had only taken in about $53 million from U.S. investors as of early February. And you want to know something? I'll make this claim, and it's speculation, but I'll make it. How much do you want to bet most, if not all, of these so-called U.S. investors had no idea this is a Jon Corzine fund, and even if they did know his name, didn't know he got screwed. He screwed people over in his MF Global debacle. Nope. Just some people calling, hey, I got a hot one for you. Just join this new company. Yeah, they're gonna be yeah, okay. How much can I put you down for today? It's $10K. Okay, good, sir. Done. Hang up. That's what those headhunters do. Since the firms, well, it says This number, 53 million, jumped to over 600 million in late March, but could be a result of the firm taking a leveraged position, just what he needs. Since the firm's assets exceeded $150 million, it was forced to register with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Even though most applications are approved automatically, some managers with a disciplinary record can face restrictions. One of Corzine's lawyers worked with the Securities and Exchange Commission to develop these new restrictions to improve the likelihood that the fund's registration would in fact be granted. In a proposed agreement with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and by the way, here's old Corzine and Obama hanging out, just in case you forgot. In a proposed agreement with the Securities and Exchange Commission, Corzine can contribute to his fund, but it is prohibited from trading outside of it. Kind of like you're prohibited from trading outside, stealing your clients' funds when you say they're segregated. They're not ever allowed to be touched by anybody. Somehow he was able to do that. Therefore, they're telling him again, you can't do that, so it'll be okay this time. But he wasn't allowed to do that last time, and he did it. Nobody's allowed to do that. And he got away with it easily and didn't do it, and there's no punishment for the guy at all. The firm must also adopt new procedures to protect customer cash and hire an independent compliance consultant. And let me tell you how that's going to go. His buddy, who's going to look the other way, is going to run the third-party consultant company. Oh, we got a new client, guys. Jon Corzine. Matter of fact, that's our only client. Whoa. What the? Let's try that again. I guess the spirit of Jon Corzine did not like me talking about that, did he? Let's try that again. Push that baby right up here. And we're off. Jason Scharfman of Congortum Consulting said, "It's more of a burden, but it's not insurmountable of Corzine. There are going to be more eyes on him, but as a result, he will be more careful and more insulated." I'm pretty sure he's not going to be more careful. Because I'm also pretty sure that all these effing criminals that run these banks do the same thing over and over. A period of time goes by, people forget about it, old news, I don't remember that. And they do it again, the same thing happens, no arrest, slap on the wrist, pay a fine. That's all that ever comes of this. Corzine famously crashed and burned at MF Global after making $6 billion in proprietary bets on European sovereign debt. The firm was then hit by a cash crunch tied to the trades, and $1 billion in client funds were temporarily missing. The fund was then forced to file for bankruptcy, and the CFTC later filed a lawsuit against the fund and Corzine. Corzine settled the allegations in 2017 by paying a huge, enormous, remember, $1 billion wiped out from his clients, $5 million penalty, and consenting to a lifetime ban from the futures industry. The CFT, so he can't play futures anymore, but you can do the same shit you were doing over here in the stock world. Bonds, stocks, all that good stuff. Yeah, no problem. Come on over, John. The CFTC did not block him from other parts of Wall Street, which from what I understand, they could have. Why didn't they? Because the club members are in the CFTC. The club members are in the Securities and Exchange Commission. And a club member named Jon Corzine needs to start a new business, guys. Yes, sir. Step right up. We have to do something to you. We can't just let you pay a huge $5 million fine after the billions of dollars you were swindling and playing with. The CFT did not block him from other parts of Wall Street, so he was able to start this new hedge fund. Now he's trying to win Securities and Exchange Commission approval to expand it. Quote, "If Corzine wants people to give him money, he will do what he has to do to make sure that happens," Scharfman then concluded. Yeah, pretty sure. Wonder what some of the commenters say on this, on Zero Hedge. I did hit comments. Oh, they're loading. Just curious, because this is Zero Hedge. Anybody on Zero Hedge already knows what this is. They know it's an effing scam. It's okay. Corzine has a D, Democrat, next to his name. Hey, where does this line form so I can give my money to Corzine to hold? /S. Same mentality as the people who line up to give their money to another known criminal, Wells Fargo. I shake my head in disbelief when I see sheep going in and out of Wells Fargo and doing their financial transactions through them. Some people just never learn. He will probably have plenty of customers. Someone replied to him, hey, what could go wrong? Next person, say, maybe, just maybe, it is time for AG William Barr, to revisit the legality of the agreement made by the DOJ with Jon Corzine. You know, since the DOJ was corrupt. Remember that? You know, to see if they dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's. To see if they effed up doing illegal shiz like they do, a la Jeffrey Epstein. Or better yet, just put him before a military tribunal in Gitmo. They should, should all of them, charge him with sedition. Just brainstorming here. Discovery can be such a bitch. A real can of worms. And the next comment, just to show you the kind of sites people like me and you, we go to, we understand, we're all on the same page. Comment after comment after comment. It was all fraud and theft, but the money was being siphoned off to supply money to the deep state globalists to prop up their bastard child, the EU. So John got a pass working for them. Not unlike the pass they gave Bernie Madoff for doing the same thing, because again, Bernie Madoff had nothing to do with them. Or Madoff. Of course, it was all blamed on bad commodities, bets, and the futures casino, as no one was about to admit Corzine was actually stealing the money taken from commingling those accounts, his customer accounts, not eligible to be stolen from. The real question is, as part of the dirty deal, aka the DOJ agreement amounting to a slap on the wrist with no jail time, why was Corzine not made to sign a disclosure agreement banning him for life from any connection to investing or investment trading? Answer, because they had every intention of bringing him back to do the same thing for them to do all over again, which is exactly what I said. You know, Corzine, the white shoe boys at Goldman Sachs, this sounds like a Gerald Celente comment, Epstein and the group surrounding him, like Ace Greenberg and Stanley Wexner, all seem to have something in common within their backgrounds, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what that is. Maybe one day I'll see the connection. Next comment, this blank should be in jail. So, as you can see, people are absolutely awake. I mean, the people are absolutely awake. It really is amazing to see these people commenting there. But the rest of the world, like I'm in this parking lot over here, how many of these people know the name Jon Corzine? Probably not even one of them. And there's hundreds of people in this parking lot, I'm sure. Right now, I see cars parking, driving around, little stores. Hey, you know, you ever heard MF Global? No. You ever heard of Jon Corzine? Someone might be like, wasn't he the governor or something, or congressman? Yeah. But you ever hear of him getting caught for fraud, defrauding his investors? No, I'm not hearing about that, no. That's old news, 8 years ago, man. Like this guy commented, they need him to get back in and bring that money in. And again, it was all thanks to Jon Corzine and those guys. Well, we need a bailout. AIG has to be bailed out, guys. AIG, the insurance company that insures all these criminals. Banksters. And again, I think it was the Amazing Polly on YouTube put the connection, it was her or someone else, I think it was her, put the connection, oh wait a minute, AIG was tied to that guy, he's tied to this, oh shit, AIG's part of this. That's why they had to get bailed out. Oh, to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, by the way. And an enormous amount of money. But we were told if we didn't do it, the whole system would crash, the economy would collapse the next day, there'd be blood on the streets, and oh my God. They always get you with fear. And as old Rahm Emanuel said, we never like to let a good crisis go to waste, you know. Take care.